After a beating like that, should we say that Vasily Lomachenko was back or that he never left? Because the performance that he put on tonight was special. He went out there and he gave Kambosos an absolute beating. And let's not forget, this is a man that's 36 years old, competing at lightweight. Recently racked up losses to Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney. Spent time out of the ring fighting over in Ukraine. Now look, he was a big favorite going into this one, no doubt. But there were a lot of people questioning whether or not he had it left, whether or not he still had something in the tank, whether or not he could still come out here and compete at the elite level, right? Like everybody had already admitted he was no longer at his prime, but whether or not he could still do it. Kambosos himself in the press conference said, look, after this fight, Loma is not going to have a path back to the title, right? In essence, what he's saying is after this fight, once I beat him, it's it. It's over. Retire. Hang it up. Put your gloves on the shelf and be done with it. You had a great career, but those days are over. And he's right. Look, if Kambosos would have got the win tonight, it basically would have been over for Loma. But that script got completely flipped because Loma went out there and just outclassed the man. Made it look easy from the opening bell. And from the opening bell, I liked what I saw. Right? Loma has received a lot of criticism over the years for being a slow starter, and rightfully slow. The nature of his style, he just kind of comes out there. He's very observant early, tries to get the speed and the timing, tries to figure things out before he starts committing. Once he does, he turns it up. We've all seen what he does. Tonight was a different story. Tonight, he's on the front foot. Now, I don't know if it was the stare downs. I don't know if he wanted to prove a point. I don't know if he just felt comfortable early. But it is what it is. But he started aggressive. He was on the front foot and he just cranked it up slowly but surely as these rounds went by, and he just continued to turn it on. And it wasn't necessarily that we saw him do anything that we hadn't seen him do before. Use great feints to confuse Kambosos, right? Came in and used great feints with going in and out and with the level changes up and down. Just completely has him confused. Never know exactly what he's going to do. Eventually he starts working the angles, gets to the weak side. Great combination punching. Great work rate. Awesome defense. But everything you did tonight, he was so crisp, so sharp. Like I said, he had Kambosos completely confused the majority of the fight. Now look at this graphic for these punches landed. I mean, look at that. That's ridiculous. Kambosos is barely landing anything. Less than 5 punches landed in multiple rounds. That's ridiculous. This is a world-class fight. And I love that Loma said that this was going to be a masterclass, and it was. He even got the stoppage late, softened him up. Last few rounds starts going to the body, right? I believe he started it in the 7th, just starts going to the body with some conviction, with some real attention. I mean, it's great stuff from a champion. Great stuff. So he goes out there, he snatches this belt up 135 pounds. He's got one of the titles. And you can look, and I get it. It's like, look, this was George Kambosos. I said going in, I didn't really see a path for Kambosos. I made a video asking, is George Kambosos a one-hit wonder? Why did I say that? Because of the performance that we saw against Teofimo Lopez, the heights that reached him to, and then what we've seen since. And to be perfectly honest, what we saw before. It wasn't the level that we talk about when we're talking about the best in the world at 135 pounds. All the stars aligned, he got himself to that position. Now, all of a sudden, after this fight, we can see a lot of people talking and they're saying the same thing. After this fight, we see a lot of people talking and saying, oh, he never should have been here. Oh, he was a one-hit wonder. Oh, they're on ESPN actually saying one-hit wonder. That's the phrase that I put in my video going into this one. Is George Kambosos a one-hit wonder? And it was all based off of the performance of Teofimo Lopez. And it was great, man. He went out there, he did good. So I know when we're talking about what we saw from Vasily Lomachenko tonight, we have to keep it in the context of who we did it against. But we also have to keep in context what we've seen from him before. Yeah, this is a man with 3 losses on his record, 2 losses recently, Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney. But look at those performances. Even the loss against Teofimo Lopez, which is not in dispute, it was a clear loss. It wasn't one in which he lost 12 rounds or 11 rounds or 10 rounds. It was one in which he actually was doing good, particularly in the back half of the fight. Right? What did he lose? Like 8 rounds to 4? Maybe somebody gave him 5 rounds, 7 rounds, 5. But Teofimo Lopez looked so good that night. And when you look at the fight against Devin Haney, a young champion who at the time undefeated, just strong, there's a lot of people who gave that fight to Lomachenko. Now he goes out there tonight and he smokes Devin Haney. I mean, look, dude, this man has not had a fall off, really. I mean, yes, when we compare some of his performances to the past, Lomachenko was getting stoppages in the past. He's doing these things. It was at this lower weight class and everything. But I mean, if we're keeping everything in context, this dude is something else. And what we saw from him tonight was just another awesome performance. We're talking about what's next. He's got the belt. Is he going to go? Is he going to turn around and be the man and try and take all of this out? We see on X, Shakur Stevenson, Gervonta Davis. Everybody's talking about now how they want a piece of him. They want to do this. They've been being ducked. It'll be interesting to see how these fights get made. It'll be interesting to see what happens from here. Because I'll tell you this, a lot of people have been trying to talk down, I feel like, about Lomachenko, trying to talk about how he's a very good fighter, but no longer an elite fighter. He's not some of the best in the division. When we talk about the face of boxing or the best in the division, it's as though his name doesn't want to be mentioned. But at the end of the day, dude, the man, now he's got a belt. So anybody that wants to go out there, they're going to have to fight him to get it. He's going to have to fight other people if he wants to get it. I love the names that we got at 135 pounds right now. Any of these matchups of these champions, we've even got Navarrete fighting next week. This is going to be good stuff. This is going to be top-notch stuff. We're going to see some awesome fights the remainder of this year, early going into next year, if these guys go out and make this happen. So I'm excited about it, because anytime that we're talking about guys of this level talent, potentially getting them up, it's going to be great stuff. So let me know what you guys think. Were you as impressed with this performance tonight as I was? Are you looking forward to what's next for him? Did you think this is what we're going to see? Did you think we were going to see something else? And what's next for Kambosos? Man, what a run though, right? The dude cashed in. He made a lot of money. But after this one, should he be hanging him up? Does he still got a lot left? Is he just going to become a former world champion veteran that people try to use as a stepping stone? Let me know what you guys think.